Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. John McGregor from Foundation Expo 88 and the 25th anniversary of World Expo 88 People's Committee, here again reporting from John Harris Gentlemen's Outfitters with Mr. John Harris. Good morning again, John.
Thank you.
We've just had a little bit of a post-video chat just after our most recent video, and a very interesting story came up, and it's to do with disability access at World Expo 88. Many of you may not realise that World Expo 88 was one of the first accessible world expositions. Of course, we've come to expect this now in the 21st century with all the legislation, and much of the accessibility legislation in Queensland only came about in the 1990s. But 1988 was the 1988 Brisbane World Exposition was one of the first world expositions where all of the pavilions and all of the venues at the expo site had to be accessible. And do you have a personal family story to relate with regards to that, don't you, John?
I do, John. As I said before, the hours that we work getting to Expo was difficult. My mother came up from Wollumbar to Brisbane for a wedding. My oldest brother is a paralysed spastic, so he couldn't go to the wedding, so I said to my wife, this is the time we should go to Expo. So we make a trip along, hired the wheelchair, which was a wonderful thing about Expo. Sat George in the wheelchair, said don't you move. We went around, we did Expo in 3 hours. The Sea Follies, the New Zealand Pavilion, everything. It was fantastic. And the way I think they were the brainstorm and the way that disabled people are really looked after today when you go to cinemas and things like that. It was fantastic. And I think the force behind that was from Sir Robert Mathers and other people who were pushing World Expo right through to be the best in the world. Yes,
that's right. And as I mentioned previously, quite a lot of the legislation then changed after World Expo 88, so that we have accessible workplaces and venues for entertainment and restaurants and things like that. And tell us a bit more about Sir Robert Mathers and his role during the 80s in Brisbane.
Well, Sir Robert Mathers was Mr. Retail of Queensland and
right.
Australia. His foresight was bigger than anything else. And also his knowledge of seeing how retail was going to be in the future. He was the one who really pushed Queen Street Mall, the trading hours, and extension through to everything else in retail, and brought Brisbane into line with the southern states within probably 2 years. And what he did for retail in Queensland, I don't think anyone else could do in their lifetime what he did in his short period of time.
So along with Mr. Grant Campbell Ryder, another big mover and shaker that brought about a very successful retail and trading centre for Brisbane for World Expo 88. And well, that about wraps up this video with Mr. John Harris from John Harris Gentlemen's Outfitters here in Park Road, Milton. Thank you for your attention and keep tuned to youtube.com/Foundation Expo 88. John Harris and John McGregor signing off.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.